Namaste, Sakshi, Manasakshi. I'm Priya Goteti. Welcome to Immigration Talk Show with our beloved attorney Naresh.M. Gehi garu. We are delighted to have you on our show, sir. So before we start our show, let me give you a disclaimer that the information provided on the show is only for general information and not a legal advice. If you wanted to contact the attorney, please contact him directly at Mr. Naresh Gehi, mobile 516-703-3767. So it's a USA number. And Naresh Garu is also starting his branch office in Hyderabad. So if you want any consultation, you can reach out to him in Hyderabad office too. So please note that now Sakshi TV has 5 immigration shows every week. Monday with Somi Reddy Law Firms, Tuesday with Kaveti Law Firms, Wednesday with Prashanti Reddy, Thursday with Naresh Gehi, Friday with Banu Ilender. So please tune in to ask your questions. If you're an immigration attorney and would like to join our special shows, please email us at us@sakshi.com or call us at 866-725-7441. So we all know that Mr. Gehi is a recognized super lawyer in the year, and he also won a 2000 Super Lawyer Award in year 2023 and 2024. He is expertise in master of H1B visas. So Naresh Garu, today we'll discuss about common mistakes done by IT companies in contracts. So
this is a topic which is not touched upon by many law firms, because ultimately most of the times it's like you need to know that contract law is very different than immigration law. And what happens sometimes, unfortunately, in some IT companies' cases, they go to a lawyer who just reviews the contract just for the heck of it and tell them it looks good. Or some of these IT companies, they go online or they use their friends' contracts. And then at the end of the day, I've seen them winding up in troubled waters. Reading a contract the way it stands and reading a contract when the matter goes to court are two different things. It may appear to be very simple to you when you read and write the contract, but when you're in court, the consequences may be different because you cited the act in the contract, but you did not know what that particular act meant when you put that particular field in the contract. Which means if you're saying that in a contract that exactly, that you are waiving your rights under the age discrimination laws as a part of the severance contract, etc., the employer doesn't even know what that age discrimination provision may mean. And, you may be waiving your rights under Section 216 of the FLSA. So most employers think that, oh, this is standard legal language. No, you have to understand every word in the contract. Because the biggest IT companies have fallen down just because their contracts were not proper. Now, there are different types of contracts over here. Yeah, Priya.
So that's the next question which I wanted to ask. How could these employers be compliant when they are hiring foreign employees like H1 under H1B, L1B visas? So what are the rules or at least the common basic things that they need to follow or compliant with the US laws?
Number one is generally it's a good idea for them to work with law firms that know immigration and contract laws very well. Like I do a lot of cases in New York and also have New Jersey admitted lawyers in my firm. So what we do is we look at everything under a microscope because we represent employers. And in a sense, what we do, we make sure that we secure all the four corners of that IT company that deals with us. Now, I'm going to tell you simple mistakes which are done because in one of the cases which I found, the immigration lawyer of this firm did not know anything about contracts. And he told them, it looks good to me, sign it. And later on, there were serious consequences. So, in one of the contracts, what I seen is that the provisions were very weak. Now, in that contract, for example, this is just a simple example. When there was an internal contract between the employer and the employee, the job title was a program analyst. But when they applied to immigration, they used a title of a systems analyst. This is just one simple example. This is like opening up a can of worms for yourself, for the employee, for the company, and getting yourself blacklisted. This is one simple example. Secondly, the job duties in the contract. You have to make sure that the job duties run parallel to it. Third thing is that you're thinking that this employee is going to be your best employee. And definitely, I hope the same for you too. But there's a saying in English, hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. And sometimes your best employees can become a living nightmare for you in your company. And they may say that you did not give me this benefit, you did not pay me for this, you kept me on bench. But sometimes the employer was being kind enough to let the person know that it's okay, you can take some personal time off, but he can consider that to be benching. Real story. But the employer said, I'm so sorry. I thought you're going on a voluntary leave. And that particular employee complained to the Department of Labor. Opens up a can of worms. Experience from the lawyer is a must in these cases. Then, other than that, the contract will be governed under the laws of ABC. Question is that the employee may not be there. It will be difficult for you to obtain jurisdiction over the employee. If he's gone to another state, how are you going to resolve these issues? Other than that, one big problem which I've seen, our employers are wonderful IT companies from New Jersey and from Texas and other states. They hire this employee in good faith. They put them on a project. After that, the employee is smarter than the IT company. He becomes friends with the vendor company. He goes and joins them. And our IT company says, my luck, the employee is gone. No, there should be proper provisions for the employees that they cannot do this. Other than that, what I've seen with IT companies, very weak provisions in terms of securing the intellectual property, the trade secrets not properly done. These are issues that a litigation attorney should be doing it for you. Who's in the other side of litigation? Inventions on the job. You paid him. You told him to basically make sure you use Java, use Spring, you use Hibernate, use Tomcat. Hallelujah. He used your technologies. You told him how to use the technologies. On the front end, you told him to use React. And the product came out to be hallelujah. Fantastic. And you trained him with the functionality of the project. You got a UI UX designer over there. And the UX designer did a fabulous job. Then after that, you got the QA testing done. After that, the code was merged. And after that, you integrated AI in the product. Your intellectual property, sir. But the employee is smart. He said, wow, the cake is already baked. He's going to the other employees telling, I was the guy who did it. Who is at the loss? IT company. I know, Priya, you're surprised about my knowledge of IT.
Yeah.
Give you the entire 9 years about IT. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
in information technology, law, and media studies. So I can understand IT better than most people could even think or imagine.
Yeah, you're talking about the entire SDLC process.
SDLC process. And
Yes.
other than that, sometimes your code is secured or no. Would you have that in your agreement? Only a person who has an IT background can understand this.
Yes.
Your front end code, which was very important for you, it's gone. Your back end code, a portion of it which was important, is gone. You are the loser, sir. You can have everything you want, but do you have a damages provision? Can your lawyer explain that to the court? Only if he has an IT background, he'll be able to do this.
Yes. Agree. So I just want to tell to the viewers one thing. Sorry to cut you, but I know you are so extensive. You have so much of knowledge. So viewers, like Naresh Gari work has been focused and featured in New York Times and Forbes magazine. So if you want his consultation, please call him at 516-703-3767. That is his USA number. So if you're calling from India, please add +1 to it. And his address is scrolling in the screen. So please take a note of it and call for his consultation. Yes, please go ahead.
So you're learning the IT part of it. You have your code secured on AWS, and you're very happy. And you have tenants on the back end. You have subtenants. Now this guy's smart. You give him access to AWS. He looked at your tenants. He looked at the subtenants. He got all the data in order. After he got the data in order, he's contacting these companies, telling them, "You give me the business." He got your intellectual property. He got to know about your clients. Where is your security IT company? Tell me that.
Yes. Yep.
Look at your own contracts, and your hair is going to stand up, and you're going to tell me these things are very much missing in your contract. And I assure you that. So these things only come when you have been kind of programming yourself. You know about the front end, you know about the back end. And Priya started off as a front end programmer on PageMaker, Ventura, and I remember those technologies, Pascal, COBOL. So I worked on all those technologies over the years. Right then after that, of
you're
course,
like inspiring to everyone.
and you're looking at C, C++ years ago.
Yeah.
What happens then? You understand the entire 9 years. And this, what a React, it's a refined version of PageMaker and Ventura, if you look at it. So in a sense, you have to understand technology, because once if you understand technology, then you put that on paper properly. So in half the contracts, I've not even seen the word definition of code. What would code actually mean? Code means your code that was developed in Java, Spring, Hibernate, with basically Tomcat as the base. I don't see those things in contracts. So these are common issues that we come across. That's number one. Now there can be another issue. Your employee sends you a notice that I'm very dissatisfied, I'm very upset, you've done this. We over the years we have resolved those issues for a client. Because there's nothing like peace. And that needs a good lawyer. Wherein you tell them, okay, let's find the middle ground so that you can be happy, the company can be happy. We do that for a lot of IT companies because that helps us to protect the company and avoid audits sometimes, because the government is definitely going to come in and see you. So it's very important that a good lawyer is a good negotiator. A good lawyer is something who doesn't only do immigration, but at the same time, he also makes sure that he knows the nuts and bolts of contract laws, especially in New York when I'm dealing with New York. So that's critically important in these cases.
So Naresh, we have like employees relocating even in US, like relocating from one location to another location. So what should be like best practices in handling those relocations? I know that sometimes employers would not file amendments, or it's the same job but in a different place. So what are the common mistakes that the employers would be doing in relocation of the employees?
Number one, the labor should be filed in that state immediately. Copy of the labor should be given to the employee too. And you have to make sure it's the 10-day notice. There's the other problem. Companies have this bad habit of not posting the 10-day internal posting notice. They get a lot of fines. And another sad thing is you're sending the employee to work from home. You have to be careful, because immigration officers are very smart. They're very well trained. They will see whether this is a job wherein the employee is just trying to kind of pull a fast one, whether it's a bona fide job, or whether he's sitting on bench not doing anything, or whether he's actually working on a project for this particular company. Take an example. If that employee is working on a Fortune 500 project and you told them on papers that he's going to be working with ABC company, but now a smart immigration officer may also ask you to open up the code. Look, not many IT companies know that. Okay, your papers show that he was going to work on the ABC code of ABC company, and he's developing a project for ABC. Let me see that. I've seen those things happening. And the employer says, I'm sorry, it was not an ABC. He's actually working on a personal project of mine. You messed up very badly. People do not look at the nitty gritty things in law. Sometimes immigration officers find a needle from a haystack when they really want to come after you because you are not in compliance. You have to make sure you're not in 90% compliance. You have to make sure that in 100 you're in 101% compliance. And what I do in these cases, Priya, I train their HR. I have meetings with the HR personnel, and I look at the contracts and I help them out. This is what I do on a regular basis.
Yes, yeah. That really helps the IT companies. So when you talk with the HR, it definitely helps because the contractual language, maybe the way we mention like sponsorships, visa assistance, even those language might be compliance issues. So the next question which I would like to ask is about like how these companies can prevent claims on discrimination towards the immigration policies or practices.
They need a good lawyer working with them. Simple. Because it's impossible for them, definitely impossible for them to protect themselves without having a, more like in a lot of these company cases, I've become a general counsel. So when anytime an owner has a problem, they reach out to me on my cell phone, I help them out directly. So you need someone on board who can just at least advise you, work with your lawyers, make sure. So, for example, I deal with a lot of companies like they have 100 employees and more, and 60, 80 employees and more. They just tell me one thing, Naresh Garu, can you please take care of this for me? I get personally involved, I get it resolved, and you're out. Because I know that this is a critical job because the future of that company is dependent on me. And my
Yes.
job is to make sure that the $100 million company grows, does not be, go down into the rubbles out here. Because if you look at some cases in Texas, companies were shut down, Priya, and owners have gone to jail because of simple mistakes. And half the time, lawyer's fault. A lawyer told him that do me a favor, keep this employee, give him money in cash, and run his payroll. You violated the damn law. And he did it with quite a few employees. That was known as the crime of structuring financial transactions. Employer goes to jail. How many people know that? It's a federal law. How many people know about this? But that's also a violation of RICO. If you're doing it with a lot of employees, of course you're violating the racketing and corrupt organizations. Third thing, doing an H1B for your relative by doing a favor. Big mistake. You did not meet the bona fide requirement. If there's an investigation, please be ready to go to jail.
Mhm. So like viewers for especially for IT companies and even from India, Hyderabad, if you wanted to reach consultation, call Naresh Garu in his mobile
Yeah, what
number.
we do for companies from Hyderabad and from Chennai, I'll tell you what we do for them. We set up the entire company from A to Z, which means if there's a company now, we are going to start office in what is that? I don't know much of it, Hyderabad. It's going to be my first trip there. What is that? Cyber City,
Yeah.
Mindspace. So I'm very excited to go there and to meet with a lot of wonderful people there. I am going to do a turnkey for them, wherein you can be sitting in India and I'll be forming the company in the US and doing everything for them. That is the reason I'm going there.
Wow, that's really wonderful for aspiring Indians like who wanted to set up IT companies in US.
I'm going to do everything for them.
Yes, so Naresh Garu will do everything for them. You can reach out in his mobile number or you can reach out in his email.
This number is the best number, the one which is the 516.
Yes, 516-703-3767. And you can also reach out to him as an email. So nmgehi@gehilaw.com. So you can reach out and he's very responsive. He will get a quick response. So it's like an opportunity for whoever wants to start an IT company or whoever wants any questions on their H1 visas or L1 visas, they can reach out to Naresh Garu.
Now, another thing is H1B season is starting. A lot of people have been inquiring with us. If you're an IT company, you can start talking to us. Number one. Secondly, if you want to kind of change your attorney, we always welcome. If we don't have an attorney on board, we can come in because of our fees are very reasonable. And besides that, if you want a lawyer to come in and look at your full compliance, that's something we do, like, at a complimentary basis for the companies that we work with. Compliance is something we offer complimentary to a lot of companies, but we train the staff. And besides that, what we also do, if you're a company, if you want a staff coming on an L1A, L1B, if you want to do I-140s, if you want to go for EB1A, EB2, EB3, H4 issues, I-140 RFEs, I-140 appeals, we do it all the way to federal court. Anything complicated, we get involved and we do it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Naresh Garu, for taking your time and giving us all valuable insights. Like Naresh Garu is coming to Hyderabad. He's setting up an office like turnkey. Whoever wants to set up IT company, he'll do everything right from the start. He'll reach out to HR employees. He'll do everything. And he's a master of H1Bs. Remember that. He's like expert super lawyer in New York. So please call him at 516-703-3767 or email him at nmgehi@gehilaw.com. So this is Priya Goteti signing off. Thank you so much.
The name of our firm is Gehi and Associates, and our website is gehilaw.com, GEHILAW.com, and my full name is Naresh, NARESH-M GEHI. Naresh.M Gehi is my name, and the website of our firm is gehilaw.com. And don't forget, we have 3 offices in New York, 1 office in Dallas, Texas, 1 office in Mumbai, and very soon our next office should be in Hyderabad. Gehilaw.com, this is Attorney Gehi. And the instant program is an attorney advertisement. Prior results do not guarantee future outcome. Any information in this show is general in nature and does not apply to any facts or circumstances unless and until an attorney-client agreement is entered into between the parties. And neither Sakshi TV nor Naresh.M Gehi or Gehi and Associates is responsible for any information that you may use on your own unless and until basically you have a written agreement with either party in this matter.
Thank you so much, Naresh Garu, for again. And viewers, the numbers are scrolling down and you can always reach out to Naresh Garu and Gehi Associates. So this is Priya Goteti signing off. Thank you.
Thank you.